It was the middle of the night. Reb Beryl knocked on the door of the inn, the bitter cold gnawing at his knuckles. No reply. So again he knocked, and again, and after what seemed like an eternity, he heard the rusty bolt sliding back, and the bleary eyes of the innkeeper peered out into the darkness. Who could it be who was knocking on his door at this time of the night? "Do you have a room?" said Reb Beryl. "We're full up," came the testy reply. "But you must have somewhere to sleep," said Reb Beryl. "Look," said the innkeeper, "all the rooms are full. The circus is in town. There's not a space, not a spare room in the whole inn." "Well, the only thing is, you could share a bed with the clown. It's up to you. Take it or leave it." "I'll take it," said Reb Beryl. "By the way," said Reb Beryl, "could you wake me, please, at 4 o'clock in the morning? I've a long way to travel." "Maybe you'd like bed and breakfast as well," said the innkeeper. "Very well," said the innkeeper finally, and grudgingly he said, "Good night." "Good night," said Reb Beryl. Reb Beryl made his way up to his room in total darkness, undressed, carefully hanging his clothes on a peg next to the clown's outfit. At 4:30 the innkeeper knocked on the door. Exhausted, Reb Beryl roused himself and with half-closed eyes dragged himself from the bed, dressed and made his way into the pre-dawn light. About an hour later, after the day had fully dawned, he was walking through the main street of the village, and someone looked at him and burst into laughter, pointing at him with his finger. "What's so funny?" thought Reb Beryl. "Well, I suppose there are strange people wherever you go." But then he came across another person who also burst into laughter, and a third, and a fourth. He started to think, am I in a town of lunatics? And just then, he was walking past the shop with a large plate glass window and caught his reflection in the window. Frozen in disbelief at what he saw, he stared and he stared and he stared, and staring back at him was a Jew with long peyot and a beard, dressed in red satin pajamas with 3 enormous white pom-poms down his front, a clown suit. "That fool of an innkeeper," said Reb Beryl to himself. "He woke up the clown instead of me." Today, the Jewish people are beset with an identity crisis of staggering proportions. Who are we? Are we the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who received the Torah, a Torah that binds us to an everlasting covenant? Or are we a loose quasi-ethnic affiliation with carte blanche to redefine our Judaism at will? There's much talk today about Jewish continuity. The question is, what are we continuing? We no longer have the clarity of our grandparents and their forebears who knew what Judaism exactly was. And even when they rejected their Judaism, at least they knew what it was they were rejecting. It says in this week's Torah portion, if you encounter an ox of your enemy or his donkey wandering, you shall return it to him repeatedly. The Chofetz Chaim points out that if the Torah shows so much concern for the welfare of someone's property, commanding us to go out of our way and to return it to him even 100 times over, all the more so must we be concerned about returning a person to himself. We must do whatever we can to reach out to our brothers and sisters and show them the beauty and the depth of the Torah. For those of us who could be shepherds, it's a tremendous mitzvah to inspire our fellow Jew with a genuine self-awareness and continuity.